One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Today's guest on One Question is Len Perna, the president and CEO of Turnkey Sports. Of course, Turnkey Search is the sponsor of One Question, which has been a terrific addition to D1 Ticker over the last 9+ months, where we've had a litany of conversations with leaders throughout the industry on their paths through college athletics, but also contextual issues that are going on in the business marketplace. And this is the first time we've talked to Len. Len, of course, has a really interesting story about how Turnkey Sports and its subsidiaries, Turnkey Intelligence and Turnkey Search, came to be. We're going to talk about those a little bit today. And Len, I want to start from the beginning. You spent over 8 years on the pro side working with professional teams, Detroit Tigers and Red Wings, later the Dallas Stars, primarily in revenue generation roles. So can you give us a bit of insight on what the founding story is on why you decided to hang your own shingle out, if you will, back in 1996 with Turnkey Sports?
Yeah, I'd love to, Matt. Thanks. Thanks for asking. I mean, yes, it's true that my career prior to Turnkey was all in professional sports, but interestingly enough, Turnkey was really born in the office of DeLoss Dodds at the University of Texas. I happened to be down there with my owner, the owner of the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Stars, Tom Hicks, and Tom was the chairman of the board of the UT system. And so we were meeting with DeLoss, and we were helping the University of Texas, work through some stadium issues at Darrell Royal Stadium, and Tom was a real big proponent of, really refurbishing the stadium and maybe even building a new football stadium for the Longhorns. And I was his employee at the Stars and the Rangers, but he wanted me to help out the UT system. And when DeLoss, kind of politely mentioned to Tom that, we couldn't have a Stars employee do that, Tom looked at me and said, well, Len, why don't you start your own business and we'll hire you as a consultant. And that's, in fact, what happened, and that's the genesis. So Turnkey was actually born in college sports.
Interesting. So what year would that have been?
That probably would have been 96, 97, somewhere in there.
That's a nugget I didn't know, and I'm sure a number of others throughout the industry, it's going to be a new piece of information for them. So you build a really thriving consulting business in pro sports, but obviously you were already working in the college space, and then you dive deeper into college with Turnkey Intelligence and Turnkey Search. Tell me where you saw that opportunity and how that kind of developed in your mindset that there was some traction that you guys could create in college like you had in pro.
Well, from a lot of years working inside of sports teams, my view of it was that to be successful in sports and entertainment, whether that be at the pro level or the college level, success depended on having the right people in the right jobs with the right information. And I think that's really, been validated by what we've done at Turnkey over the last 21 years. I mean, we focus on putting the right people in the right slots, and then we help them gather the right information and interpret that information. And so Turnkey Search and Turnkey Intelligence, even though they're separate companies and they're staffed all separately and they're housed separately, they do work together. They do complement each other. I'll just give you some examples. I mean, we're working on a search right now, and it's for a marketing position, and we already have a significant amount of data in terms of like customer satisfaction surveys and engagement surveys and a lot of social and digital information, and so we kind of already know who the best marketers are because we keep track of the numbers. And so Turnkey Intelligence helps Turnkey Search in that way. It gives us additional insight that other search firms don't have. So it's turned out to be complementary.
I'm going to skip ahead because that's one question I wanted to ask specifically for the college space. And actually, I want to start this by having you kind of give us a recap of Turnkey Intelligence and its main focus. Because the question here that I'm really after is, as Turnkey Search continues to gain market share in college athletics from a search standpoint, should that in turn help Turnkey Intelligence gain more traction and vice versa?
Well, that's the hope. And you know, I continue to believe that they can be, these businesses will help each other. Turnkey Intelligence is really focused on two things. First of all, we're 100% focused on the sports and entertainment space. And so everything we do here is really geared towards two things. It's measuring and improving the effectiveness of sponsorships, and it's measuring and improving the effectiveness of your customer relationships, which is usually ticket holders, club seat holders, and suite holders, and people who view on television or people who click on the website. So there's the consumer side of all of these enterprises that we help, and then there's the corporate side of these enterprises that we help at Turnkey Intelligence. And you know, we're doing most of that at the pro level right now, but we're starting to see colleges call us. They've got obviously a lot of assets now and a lot of value that they're delivering to marketing partners. They've got, you know, new and improved stadiums and really premium hospitality opportunities that they're delivering to their consumer customers. And so we're getting more and more involved in measuring all of those things.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.